jobbar som vanligt. Tiderna är inte fantastiska. De ligger mellan 12 och 18 månader beroende på land.
Your government has no efficiency. It takes 1 year or 1 year or 18 months.
Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This is my new hairstyle, my staying at home and not being able to cut my hairstyle. And recently I made a video, of course, about we complained that we couldn't stay in this apartment because the landlord wanted to kick us out, and we were checking a lot of new places, but then of course Corona came to Taiwan, so now we had to stop looking for new places, and we talked with our landlord, and actually the situation worked out pretty good because her daughter also didn't want to move here right now, so at least we can stay here until the end of our contract, and as soon as the Corona situation gets better, we're gonna continue to look for some new places. The renting market in Taiwan is really not stable. We have been forced to move 4 times in 5 years, and I like Taiwanese a lot, and I have a lot of trust in Taiwanese people, but in Taiwanese landlords I don't have so much trust left. I'm really sorry to say this. So we keep looking for housing. So far we have not been successful. The places we have found has been way too expensive. Of course, the other alternative, like some of my fans pointed out in the last video, if you don't like to stay in Taiwan, just go back to Sweden. We have been starting to think about making the move back to Sweden, you know, to my country, to get a more stable living situation and also to live closer to my parents.
I think the good part of Sweden is that the house price is really cheap.
Yeah.
And also I think the education there is good for the kids too. Like the air is also better, but the disadvantage is like, you know, there is no Uber Eats. There is no 7-Eleven. There is no Asian market.
One Thai restaurant in my hometown.
Like, 14 minutes away. I think the good part of Taiwan is like the food is so good.
Yeah.
And it's really not expensive. I mean about the food.
Yeah.
Like we can go to a restaurant every day and then eat different kinds of food. All here is super convenient, but the house price is really crazy. And the house I am interested in buying that is like reasonable price, there is nothing around there.
I get so many questions, you know, everyone asks me like, how do you deal with cultural difference and how do you act with cultural difference, how do you work this out in your relationship? But by far the hardest part of being in a mixed relationship where both are from different countries is that there are so many visa issues to solve, and actually to get a visa in Sweden for her is very different compared to getting a visa in Taiwan for me, because in Taiwan, as soon as you are married and have that marriage approved in Taiwan, it's actually very straightforward to get a spousal visa. It only took me 2 weeks or something, I don't remember exactly, but it was very fast. How about applying for a visa in Sweden?
Your government has no efficiency. It takes 1 year or 1 year or 18 months. I even went to Hong Kong to do interview, and then what's the use of that visa? No. But French, they are even worse.
Okay. Because you're choosing between a Swedish or French boyfriend or what?
No, I just mean like I lived in France and it was worse.
Okay. I Taiwan finns det ingen svensk ambassad. Så förra gången så var hon tvungen att åka till Hongkong för att göra den här intervjun då. Hur ser det ut med intervjun just nu?
Tyvärr jag har inga detaljerade uppgifter om alla ambassader, de ligger under UD. I närmaste svensk myndighet som hanterar migrationsfrågor.
So, if I should come to some kind of conclusion for this video, I think for Charlie to get a Swedish visa is not so hard because we've been through everything one time already. However, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take 12 to 18 months. That's what they say themselves. And I think for us, the situation, you know, we have to choose between either buying a very reasonably priced house in Sweden for maybe 6 to 8 million, which is money that for us is not a huge. Of course, we have to take a loan in Sweden, but I'm Swedish. I can take a loan in Sweden, so it's not a huge burden. Or try to get the upfront in Taiwan, which also would be like 6 to 8 million if we want to buy a 30 million house, which of course is incredibly crazy. But if we want to have a house where I had a bedroom, living room, small room for Charlie, small room for me, you know, that's not too much to ask for, right? And if you want to have that kind of house, all of a sudden you are talking about around 30 million. So it's really, the situation here is so crazy. And I thought, you know, never ever would I make a video where I talk about that maybe we want to move back to Sweden because we want to save money. I always consider Taiwan to be a lot cheaper than Sweden. I spend more money here because I go to more restaurants and I buy more things and I take the more transportation, I go on more adventures, this kind of thing. So in the end, some way I manage to spend more money in Taiwan than I do in Sweden. But it's just because, you know, the CP here in Taiwan is very, very high until you decide to buy a house, and that is like the most expensive thing ever. So maybe for this reason we are considering to move back to Sweden. So I just wanted to share a little bit update with you guys. And if you want, also please feel free to leave a comment. Actually on my last video got a lot of comments, it also helps me a lot. I don't have time to answer everything, I read everything, so if you want to help us in some way, please feel free to leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching today, see you all next time, bye bye.